Hello, friends. Good morning. How are we all doing? It's a pleasure to be meeting you here. I'm Adebayo Samuel Adedoyin, and yes, this is a live Saturday live broadcast, and yeah, we are here to do what we have committed ourselves to do. Yeah, we have been talking about paradigms for societal and for personal and societal growth, and we have tried to establish the fact that for for us to have some growth in our lives, in our communities, in our societies. Basically, we need to have some change of paradigms. Okay, and that's why we are doing this series of paradigms for personal and societal growth. We have looked at patriotism. Now we are looking at education, but not just education, the right education. We've looked at, we've established why we need to have the right education. Um, Last week we talked about self dependency. That is something that's a kind of education that many of us do not have because we were brought up, we were society framed us in a world that makes us dependable on it, and so basically we have lost ourselves. We're not even empowered. We don't even have the mind to do things on our own. We rely on different people. We rely on different things to get our desires and our needs met. So that last week we particularly try to make us understand that it is highly important that we have self dependency. Today, we are going straight to the topic because we have limited time. Once again, I apologize because this live broadcast is coming earlier than usual because there are some pressing issues that requires me to be present at the time at which you're supposed to do the live broadcast. But a promise is a promise. A promise made is a promise kept. So I decided that we have to do it earlier, and if we, um, I mean, at the right time, we will do a watch party so that at least we can still have it. Yes, let's go straight to the topic: personal development. Self development. In today's world, we stumble upon a lot of people who claim they are, for example, life coaches, they are public speakers, they are trainers in one area or the other. Trainers maybe in sports, trainers maybe in intelligence, trainers maybe in beauty, trainers in vocational skills and things like that, teachers, mentors, many more people, filling different posts. Okay, they have something that they share in common, and that is the business of helping people to improve their awareness, their identity, to develop their talents, their potentials, to build their human capital and facilitate their employability, to enhance the quality of their lives and contribute to the realization of their dreams and aspirations. I'm happy to see Avios Michael online who is joining us. It's a pleasure having you here. Hi, Avios. Hope you're doing very well. See you soon. All right. In as much as you know, these people I've mentioned earlier, you know, they try to do lots of things to help people. Okay, you know, basically they are um, they are the guide that we need. I mean, they are the guide that they are like guiding us to become what we need to become. But when we talk about self development, the pointer is shifting from these people. The pointer is shifting on us. It's pointing actually to us. We are taking the bull by the horns to achieve or to actualize all our desires, all our hopes, all our dreams, and much more. Okay. It means self development means taking charge of your own life. It means being at the forefront of things, taking the wheel, being the driver, being the pilot of your own life. You know where you are headed, you have those passions, those goals, those aspirations, those dreams, and you have been wishing, hoping that someday a miracle will just happen. Probably, maybe you will hit jackpot, you know, your dreams will come true. Well, the truth needs to be told. If wishes were horses, beggars will ride. So quit dreaming and start taking action. Quit dreaming and start taking action. Be responsible for your life. After all, it's your life, it's nobody else's. The society we are has a lot of good things worth commending, but also, unfortunately, it's designed to make you dependent on its own systems for everything to the point that you almost don't have a mind of your own. This is the reason you need to reorientate yourself. This is why we are having this broadcast so that we can be informed, we can be awoken to the fact that we need to have the right education. You need to reprogram your mind. You need to get back to the basis of what makes you you. The right education you need is to have self development. What is self development? Before I do that, AVS has written something. I think he wrote it in Ugandan language, Banange. I'm so great to find my uncle still online and so appreciative for the previous messages. It was awesome to me and my group. Yeah, glory to God. I'm ready for to go. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Avios. Please share the live broadcast to your friends, and I hope it encourages them and it puts them in the right direction. So quickly, let's go to what you're talking about. What is self development? Self-development simply means the system and strategies we put in place to help us actualize our plans, desires, goals, expectations. It is a self-guided approach to improve our awareness and identity. It is it is it is it is meant to develop our talents, our potentials, build our human capital, and facilitate our employability or probably our relevance, all to enhance the quality of our lives, to contribute to the realization of our dreams and aspirations. Now, what are you actually trying to develop? Because you see, many times we use this word, you know, almost all the time. You hardly will you wake up, hardly will you spend a day without you hearing about development. Develop yourself. You need to develop yourself. But the question is, what are you trying to develop? Basically, it is yourself. You are trying to develop your identity and your personality. Now, I need to go deeper into this because we need to understand this. We need to have a paradigm shift on what we are trying to develop. Because many times we just hear it and we just say, okay, let's do it, and we go ahead and do stuff. But we don't have a clear understanding. Teban, Tebandeke Godfrey, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure having you here. Great. So, what are we trying to develop? Basically, we're trying to develop ourselves. We're trying to develop our identity. And by identity, we mean who we are. Who we are. Who we are is a combination of what we think of ourselves, our qualities, our beliefs, our perspectives, our looks, our expressions. Those things that make us us. Our backgrounds, our family, our history, our genes, and the society we live in also contribute to the role, you know, of our identity. It plays a major role in our identity. All right. Now, by identity, we also mean the character we have that distinguishes us from others. Remember, your character basically is an external manifestation of your thoughts and perspectives. These are what determines your attitudes, and when they are constant, they form your character. What is your character like? Is your character pleasing, or is your character repugnant? What do we mean by personality? Because we said when we talk about um, developing ourselves, we mean developing our identity and our personality. When we mean by personality, what we mean by personality actually is we are talking about, you know, our formed self. Over time, how we think, how we act, how we live is molded into what we call our personality. Now, what identity or personality do you have? Are you satisfied with the way you are perceived all around you or the way you perceive yourself? Are you satisfied with your performance in the display of your potentials, your talents, your gifts, your knowledge, the practical things that you are involved in? Are you satisfied with the way you are? By the way, we are not we're not doing this broadcast just for you to, you know, earn public praise. Oh, that guy, he has transformed. Oh, like before that guy used to be this, but now he's this. Are you doing that? Do you want to do this? Or are you doing it because you want to gain attention from people, from friends, from families, from the public, from the media? Don't self develop because you want to attract people. You want to attract men or women. You want to attract friends. Don't self develop because it has become a buzzword on the media and in every social circle. Don't do it for others, but do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it for the actualization of your dreams, your goals, your fulfillment, the fulfillment of your purpose. Now, why is self-development a right education? Just like we looked at self-dependency, right? Why is it also the right education? Quickly, I'll give us a few points. Number one, Self-development. Self-development is a right education because it makes us to become aware of ourselves. It makes you become aware of yourself. It makes you to become aware of the state of your mind, your consciousness, and your subconscious mind. It makes you to think, okay, wait a minute, what is going on in my mind? What is my thought on this? How do I perceive this thing? Is it the way it's supposed to be, or am I just gathering assumptions? Is this my perception? Is this the truth? Is it a basic fact? How can I prove it? How can I assess this? How can I relate with this? Your conscious mind, your subconscious mind. Why is self-development a right education? It is because it addresses you. When you try to develop yourself, you focus less on other people. You focus on yourself. You challenge your entire self. You challenge your paradigms. You challenge your belief system. You challenge your worldview. You challenge what you are biased of. You challenge what goes on around you, what you hold dear. You challenge your values. Those are That's why what I mean by self-development, when it's what it does for us. It challenges us actually. Next point. It moves us to be in charge of our lives. Are you in charge of your life? By the time you begin self-development, it will make you to be in charge of your life. What do I mean by being in charge of your life? Many people, for example, they do things because other people tell them to do it. They go to school because they are told to go to school. They engage in one endeavor because they are encouraged to do so. But by the time you do self-development, you yourself, you have the will to do it. You yourself, you take up the challenge that I can do this, and then you go ahead and you draw up a map or a design, and then you carry it out. Good. Self-development is the right education because of this. It moves us to be in charge of our lives. Next point. Self education, self development is a right education because it makes you to become a thoughtful person. It helps you to make the right, balanced, well informed judgments. By the time you self develop, you begin to take account of things. You begin to assess things in your mind. Your mind begins to work. You begin to relate yourself to how you were doing things before and ought how you're doing it now, or how you ought to do it. You know, so you become a thoughtful person. You think before you act. You don't become a zombie as before, but you make use of your mind, when you're doing things. Self development. It empowers you to assess yourself day in, day out. What have I planned to do? Have I done it? Am I practicing it? Or how much have I done it? How much should I have done it? No. So it helps you to assess yourself day in, day out. You score yourself. You score yourself. Am I doing well, or I need to get better at doing it well? So those are the things that happens to you. The last point I want to give us quickly when it comes to self development being the right education is it makes you responsible for your success and for your failures. Before now, I'm sure many of you blamed your parents, blamed the society, blamed your friends, blamed your teachers for your failures. Oh, it's because my parents did not send me to school. Oh, it's because I didn't have enough money to do this project. Oh, it is because that man, that French teacher, I did not like him, so I failed French. Oh, this, that. Oh, that is that. The truth of the matter is, by the time you are doing self-development, you become responsible for your success and for your failures. You take responsibility for the end product of your endeavor. How can we develop ourselves? How do you develop yourself quickly? Because of our lack of time. First, before you can even embark on a self development program, you must understand yourself. Ask yourself, who am I? Where am I coming from? Where am I going? You must understand your strengths and weaknesses. Then determine what you want to improve. You cannot just become a well refined person suddenly. No, it's a process. You cannot just become a well refined person suddenly. It is a process. Self development, just like any kind of development, is a lifelong endeavor. Because the more you work on yourself, the more you discover other areas that needs refining too. So, first step, develop a personal vision. The first thing, I mean, after that is you develop a personal vision. Who do you look at yourself in the mirror? What do you see? Okay. Now, go away from the mirror. Think in your mind. Who do you want to become? Who do you want to become? Hello, Rapol. It's a pleasure having you here. Uh, I'm sorry we are coming in earlier. Uh, we want to do a what's it called, a watch party afterwards. I need to quickly do this to get it out of the way so that other things can follow. Thanks for watching. All right, we're talking about personal vision. All right, personal vision. What do you want to become? I am not talking about the general things like, oh, I want to become an engineer, I want to become an architect, I want to become this. Even if they are those things, anyway, you need to develop a personal vision. How do you envision yourself? You know, what do you envision yourself to be in the next 2 years? What do you envision yourself to be in the next, in fact, 2 years is even far. What do you envision yourself to be in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, 1.5 years, then 2 years? What do you envision yourself to be in the next 3, 5 years, 10 years? Envision yourself. Have a personal vision. I want to achieve this. I want to actualize this. I want to refine this area of myself. I want to become better at this thing. You have to have all those things planned out. If you don't have that vision, you will not be able to change. You won't be able to self-develop because who do you want to become? What do you want to turn out to be? You have to have an image of something or where you are going. Okay. Number two, plan your personal development. Having a personal vision is not enough, but you have to plan what it will look like, how you will go about it. This French writer, Anthony de Saint-Exupéry, I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, he says, a goal without a plan is just a wish. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So if you dream and you don't plan, it's just a wish. But by the time you plan, then there is a tendency that you'll achieve it. You cannot just do everything at a time, I know, but I mean, your life, knowing that your life has numerous parts, you need to deal with them one after the other. Also, apart from dealing with them one after the other, each area requires different stages. Secondly, give yourself a time, what you want to see addressed within a time frame. For example, the next 6 months. Maybe you used to you are planning to be you're working on on the books that you read. For example, you want to see yourself finish 2 or 3 books in 6 months. Okay, and within those 6 months, you want to see yourself practicing the contents of those books. All right, you want to see yourself living it out. Okay, within those 6 months. All right, so that's what I'm trying to explain. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself a time, at which you want to do certain things. All right, and then you try to achieve it, because actually you cannot achieve everything at the same at a go. To eat an elephant, you need to eat it bit by bit. The next point is start the improvement process. It is not enough to dream it. It is not enough to plan it. You need to start the process. Martin Luther King Jr. says, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Take the first step. You don't have to see everything. You don't have to you know, you know, see how everything will look like in the future. I mean, you can just dream it, all right? But you need to take the first step. If you don't take the first step, you will keep postponing your self development, and there's no education that you are gaining. All right, so you need to take the first step. Number 4, record your personal development. Record your personal development. Each step you take, have a journal, have a note of what the day was like. How did you achieve it? What did you do? How did you achieve? How did you go about doing it? Okay. Note the changes that you see in yourself. Note how you felt. Note what you try to develop. All right, and then see it. Do that day by day, or if that is too tiresome for you, do it week by week. Do an assessment of yourself, and then after maybe about 1 or 2 months, go back to who you used to be before and how you are now. What kind of differences, what kind of changes you are attaining, and that's what then you now begin to see. Okay, well, I think I'm making progress in my self development. Now we have to stop here. Unfortunately, I'd love to go on, but because of my time, I just need to stop here. Thank you very much for joining us. We are promising that we'll try to make things better. We'll soon go back to our normal time, and then we'll spend more time talking about, things that brings about personal growth, that brings about personal growth and societal development. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's a pleasure having you all here today. Please share the live broadcast with your friends and family. Put it on your web page. Put it on your on your in your story. Let people see what you are watching. Let them also gain and learn from it. Okay, but we will at 7 o'clock we'll still do a watch party, and then we see you then. Thank you very much. Bye for now.